Today in the battle arena, we've got the Spider-Man from the future, Miguel O'Hara, Spider-Man 2099, going up against Nightbringer of War, the Midnighter. So who's coming out on top here? Well, let's find out. In the year 2099, Miguel O'Hara, the head of the genetics department for the Alchemix Corporation, became the legendary hero known as Spider-Man. Spider-Man 2099 has powers similar to the modern-day Spider-Man, with superhuman strength, durability, speed, and agility. He's strong enough to lift up a car, and even tear off and lift up a giant tank turret. Miguel is also durable enough to survive disintegration blast and plasma blast. Take two blasts that are meant to put down the Hulk in the future, and a point-blank shotgun blast didn't come close to penetrating his skin. His suit also increases durability, as it's made out of unstable molecules bonded with Kevlar. It's so durable that nothing short of a howitzer, a giant artillery cannon, can penetrate it. Then, like every member of the Spider family, Miguel is incredibly fast and agile. He supposedly has reaction times under an eighth of a second, can dodge bullets at close range, and even dodge machine gun fire from multiple shooters. One time, Miguel even enrolled in the American Ninja Warrior program just for fun, and he went on to break all known records and completed the course in 21 seconds. Then Miguel actually doesn't have a spider sense like other members of the Spider family, but he kinda makes up for it with all of his enhanced senses. Then he doesn't web sling as much as Peter either, instead choosing to use his web cape for gliding in order to get around. Spider-Man 2099 also has retractable talons that come out of his fingers and toes, allowing him to cling to pretty much any surface. They can also be used offensively in order to damage opponents, and he usually goes for the throat to take his enemies out. Then he also has venomous fangs that secrete poison if he bites someone. It can even affect someone like Hulk 2099. Finally, Spider-Man 2099 wears an armor made up of unstable molecules, which allows him to use his talents without damaging his suit, and also protects him from both slashing attacks and even acid. So that's what we've got in one corner. The future hero, Miguel O'Hara, Spider-Man 2099. But entering the ring in the other corner, well, it's Lucas Trent, the Midnighter. Midnighter is an augmented hero with superhuman physical abilities and the power to run through thousands of fight scenarios in his head before a single punch is thrown. Although he's one of the good guys, Midnighter enjoys violence and brutality, and never feels more alive than when he's in the middle of a bloody brawl. Midnighter's abilities give him an all-encompassing advantage in close combat and tactical scenarios. He's got superhuman strength, reflexes, healing, senses, aim, and various other enhancements. His body's been altered to give him superior balance, and he's got faster nerve endings, which allow him to move and react faster than any human. Midnighter has multiple redundant systems built into his body in order to keep him fighting in even the worst of conditions. For example, he has a backup heart, can turn off his pain receptors, and has fought with a hole in his chest, his whole body on fire, broken neck and broken limbs. Midnighter's most famous ability, though, is the fact that he can predict how a battle will happen or play out before it even starts. This is because he's got a built-in combat computer that allows him to run through a given combat situation millions of times in his mind, almost instantaneously, and he can cover nearly every possible result before the first punch is thrown. He then uses this information to predict the actions and reactions of his foes, and even has the ability to see the outcome of the battle that he wants, then work his way backwards and follow the right steps to get there. He even has a business card made up that reads, I know what special abilities you have. I can detect the increased electrical activity in your brain. I know what moves you're preparing to make. I've fought our fight already in my head in a million different ways. It can hit you without you even seeing me. Your move. Midnighter also regularly carries knives, a bow staff, throwing stars, and grenades. So who wins? Well, let's break it down. Nowadays we've got Spider-Man from the future, Miguel O'Hara, Spider-Man 2099, going up against Wildstorm's version of Batman, although one with a whole lot looser morals, Midnighter. So who's come out on top here? Well, let's find out. And first things first, strength and physicality. And being a member of the Spider family, Miguel is incredibly powerful. I mean, he's strong enough to lift up and tear off a tank turret. He's managed to hurt someone who was completely unfazed by a truck running into him. He's punched through prison doors and prison walls, and has just sent people absolutely flying with his attacks. In fact, Midnighter's even sent someone like Submariner 2099 flying with a single punch. The guy's even managed to hurt Hulk 2099 with his attacks before. And then, like we said, Miguel is a member of the Spider family. He's easily on par with the Peter Parker Spider-Man. In fact, you can make an argument that Miguel is even more powerful than Peter. Here's what I've got. Miguel is fought on par with his superior Spider-Man, who is just Otto's mind inside Peter's body. So we at least know that Miguel is on par with Peter. Then in another encounter, Spider-Man was struggling against the new advanced Spider Slayers. Miguel was able to come in there and take out literally an entire room of them all by himself. But let's not get caught up with saying that Spider-Man 2099 is physically superior to Spider-Man. Let's just say that Miguel is on par with Peter. What's that mean, though? Well, Pete has knocked out Scorpion with one punch, only one issue after Scorpion just crash landed from 7 miles up. He's casually punched Rhino down through a few stories of a building, and when he was going all out, Spider-Man has even punched Electro through 40 stories of a skyscraper. And seeing how Miguel was on par with Pete, theoretically, Spider-Man 2099 could do the same things. Spider-Man's also incredibly durable, just remarkably durable, especially with his new and improved Parker armor. It's made up of unstable molecules bonded with Kevlar, which increases durability to the point where nothing short of a howitzer can penetrate it. Miguel wasn't fazed by point-blank shotgun blast, takes plasma blast, is immune to an electrical attack, and Spider-Man 2099 wasn't put down by a plasma cannon that was designed to put down Hulk, although it did leave his head spinning. He was seemingly unfazed after a pretty serious punch from Thing. He's been punched through walls and buildings. He's even taken attacks on people who could casually toss around semi-trucks. And we haven't even talked about Miguel's greatest asset yet, his speed and agility. Spider-Man 2099 is easily able to dodge bullets and laser fire, just weaving all around opponents, even people like Venom. And you can make a very solid argument that Spider-Man 2099 is around the same level as Spider-Man, if not faster than Pete, seeing as how Miguel has tagged Peter and caught him by surprise, or tagged him before Pete's spider sense could even go off. But flip the script, what about Midnighter? Well, he's easily punched through concrete, tore out a man's spine, punched through a man's chest, through a man's skull, and even punched straight through 2 people at once. He's managed to pick up and throw a refrigerator through a wall. He's flipped over a giant truck with the help of a light pole that he just tore out of the ground. He's one-shot giant aliens, and Midnighter has even cracked Nith metal with his punches before. And as if that wasn't enough, Midnighter's gone on to stagger Etrigan and Apollo with a punch. So yeah, while he might not be as strong as Spider-Man, he can definitely do some damage with the punches. Then there's Lucas's durability. Now, with Midnighter, his body has multiple redundant systems built in, like a backup heart or ability to turn off his pain receptors, and that allows him to continue fighting even under the most extreme conditions. He's walked off massive explosions before, been thrown through cars and buildings, literally just chucked outside of buildings, taken hits from Apollo and Red Lanterns. And like I said, has the incredible ability to turn off his pain receptors, allowing him to stay unconscious even with a massive hole in his chest. A guy with those same enhancements as Midnighter even had all of his limbs torn off, yet didn't utter a single word. Lucas has also got a healing factor of his own, which allowed him to heal from a massive explosion just a few minutes. Midnighter is also able to use his healing factor to his advantage, busting out his own ears in order to block a sonic attack. And then Midnighter is crazy fast too. His body's been altered to give him faster nerve endings in order to move and react quicker than even most superhumans. He's able to move incredibly fast for short bursts of time. He's also able to effortlessly dodge bullets and sidestep energy blasts. He's able to reflect bullets of his bow staff, actually kick away an artillery shell out of the air, in order to defeat a speedster as well. Midnighter's even gone up against Deadshot before, faced down with him in a wide open area, yet dodged all of Floyd's shots, except for one that caught him clean in the chest, because that's where Midnighter wanted to be shot. So overall, Spider-Man 2099 is physically more powerful, but man, is Midnighter pretty close. He can definitely hang in a fight. But then there's one last thing we need to take a look at: weapons and gear. Now, one of the things that makes Spider-Man 2099 unique and different from members of the Spider family is that Miguel actually uses a lot more gear and weapons in a battle. Yeah, he's still got the typical web shooters like every other member of the Spider family, but Spider-Man 2099 also has the ability to cast holograms and illusions to full opponents, and in his camouflage mode, he's nearly invisible. Miguel has poisonous fangs that have knocked out Hulk, and his claws are sharp enough to slice through metal. He usually doesn't mess around either, and frequently goes for an opponent's throat or take them out. And he even has foot talons. Then, probably most importantly, Miguel is always accompanied by his AI pal, Lila. You see, Spider-Man 2099 actually doesn't have a spider sense, but thanks to Lila feeding information, he's able to have a 360-degree view of his surroundings and be alerted if danger's incoming or be given advice on any situation that he finds himself in. Lila has even used the armor circuitry to jolt him and revive him if he's ever knocked out. It's also quite the hacker, allowing Spider-Man to hack into Reed Richards' tech, Tony Stark's tech, and Lila can do all this while Miguel is in the middle of a fight. On the other hand, the most important asset in this fight for Midnighter has got to be his battle computer. This thing is really just insanely powerful, maybe even arguably overpowered. With this computer, Midnighter can predict how a battle will happen and play out before the battle even starts. It allows him to run through millions, billions, possibly even trillions of different possibilities in his mind almost instantly. And he's able to cover pretty much every outcome before the first punch is even thrown. With this information, he's able to predict the actions and reactions of his opponent, even being able to counteract their moves pretty much before they can think to make them. His battle precognition also allows him to pick out a desired result and work backwards from it in order to achieve it. A perfect example of this is when Midnighter was shown kissing Apollo at the beginning of the story, then told the story in reverse to show how he got there. However, the battle computer isn't necessarily perfect, as it doesn't make him unbeatable or anything like that. There have been times where he's been caught by surprise. There have been times where he was unable to predict Dick Grayson changing up his fighting style, and again catching him by surprise. And really, he's been caught by surprise quite a few times throughout the years. Although, yes, other times where he's been absolutely perfect in fights and predicted everything from the very beginning. All I'm saying is it's not completely infallible. You can make the argument that it makes him a more effective fighter by comparing his showings with it to his showings while it's disabled, but the fact remains that, even with it activated, Midnighter is not invincible. And because of that, I think I gotta give the victory here to Spider-Man 2099. He's faster, he's stronger, he's tougher, meaning he's gonna land a lot more attacks than Midnighter. Gonna land a lot more powerful attacks than Midnighter. They will take Midnighter's attacks a whole lot easier. The battle computer is a factor, but I don't necessarily think it makes him omniscient or anything like that. And he's still gotta be fast and strong and tough enough to put Miguel down even when he's got a game-winning plan. And I'm just not sure if he's gonna be able to do that consistently. Or at least not as consistently as Spider-Man can do it. Spider-Man 2099 wins. But what do y'all think? I would love to hear your thoughts. Sound off in the comments down below. Also, be sure the like button, subscribe button, and turn notifications on the DanCo army. And I will see y'all next time.